Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Rini Azara from class R1G. In this video, I want to make video about narrative text, and the title is Pinocchio. That I'm searching on Google Internet. Search is from Englishsiana.com. Let's get started. The first one is, what is definitions of narrative text? Narrative text is a story with complication or problematic events, and it tries to find the resolution to solve the problems. An important part of narrative text is the narrative mode, the set of methods used to communicate the narrative through a process narration. The purpose of narrative text is to amuse or entertain the reader with a story. In narrative text have four generic structures. First is orientation, second complication, third resolution, and fourth is reorientations or coda. Now I want to analyze the generic structures of Pinocchio. First is orientation. Orientation is where and when the story happens and introduce the participants of the story, who and what is involved in the story. And in this story, the history happened in the past of Geppetto's house. The participants of the story was a puppeteer, aka Geppetto, and a puppet made by Geppetto, whose name is Pinocchio. And Geppetto met Pinocchio in order to not to be lonely again, since his wife passed away several years ago. 2 is complication. Complication tells the beginning of the problems which leads to the crisis or climax of the main participants. In this text have a social conflict. The conflict is between Geppetto and Pinocchio. Beginning when Pinocchio was alive, then he studied at elementary school, but one day he felt bored and it made him go home late. He said that he was on school, but he wasn't. Instantly, Pinocchio's nose grew longer and longer, and it meant that Pinocchio has lied. In the next morning, Pinocchio was kidnapped by the owner of circus. Then Pinocchio soon became a slave for the circus. Geppetto worried about him because Pinocchio had not been going home for almost 2 days. He tried to find Pinocchio everywhere, but he found nothing. And the climax is when he searched him on the sea. Big wave half smashed him. He was then in whale's stomach when he awoke. He couldn't find the way to go out. 3 is resolution. Resolution is the problem or the crisis is resolved either in a happy ending or in a sad or tragic ending. The problem is resolved when Pinocchio finally could escape out from the circus. He came home but nobody was there. Later on, he searched Geppetto in the sea. He got the same accident like Geppetto, and he met Geppetto in whale's stomach. Both of them go out from its stomach by making a fire. In the end of the story, they went home together and lived happily ever after. So the piano story have a happy ending. 4. Last but not least is reorientation or coda. This is a closing remark to the story and it is optional. It consists of a moral lessons, advice, or teaching from the writer. But based on this narrative text, the writer didn't write a moral lessons in the flesh, But I can take a moral lessons that we shouldn't lie because lie is a bad manners. And this is it. I'm sorry for my still bad English, cause yeah, I still learning about English, especially speaking. So I hope you understand, ma'am. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.